Hey guys, welcome to this episode. Before we get into it, I'm going to be in Hobart this Saturday night, louspears.com/gigs. Grab your tickets. I will see you and meet everybody else afterwards, after the show. It's going to be sick.
Last time I was in Hobart, a blow-up doll, and we're at the same venue. It's a good vibe. A sex doll was passed around the crowd, so it's probably going to be a loose show because it's Hobart.
Good. All right.
Or maybe my shows are fucking weird.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's Hobart. That's the thing.
Definitely
I think it's more of a Hobart thing, not my show. So, if,
Yep.
something crazy might happen.
We'll find out.
You should go.
I'm also going to be visiting Risdon Maximum Security Prison. So if you've ever killed someone, maybe I'll see you there. Then I've got Adelaide and Perth to wrap up the tour, and Bunbury as well. louspears.com/gigs to get your tickets. And Luke and I, the Luke and Lewis tour, is on sale now. Melbourne has 10 seats left. Oh, no, sorry.
No.
Brisbane has 10 seats left.
Yes.
Melbourne is
3/4 sold.
sold, filling up. That'll fill up soon.
So only 50 seats left.
Awesome.
Melbourne.
Sydney is also filling up. Adelaide is doing... Wait, which one's doing okay? Perth is doing
Perth
okay.
is doing okay. Adelaide. What y'all
are you
doing?
doing? Hurry up. All right?
It's why are we going to Adelaide? If you're not going to come to the show,
I don't know. You guys might blow it. We'll
people are
see.
like, oh, we didn't come to Adelaide. Oh, we put on a show there, and none of you bought tickets.
Why don't you come to Adelaide?
Yeah.
So
we'll
grab
be
your
there.
tickets. LukeandLewis5.com.
Adelaide's going to be like the end of year party. So if you want to come party with us, get there. By the way, it is a live podcast still. We're doing a show. Then we'll party.
Yeah, cool. See you there. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to episode 34 of the Luke and Lewis show.
Lewis
Here we go.
always does this where he just says something incredibly shit right before he presses record.
Oh, gets us in the mood.
Yeah, and he just... Well, I'm not even going to say what he said.
No.
It was a joke about the Hogwarts character, or not Hogwarts actually, went to a different school, the Harry Potter character, Victor Crumb, which is a very obscure thing to bring up right before we start recording.
It is very obscure. And guys, you'll never know. Welcome to Thursday's episode. Hope you guys had a good week. Shout out to all of the people who joined the Patreon.
Oh, nope, take that, retract that.
What?
No shout-outs.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We literally have
I'm gonna
almost
take myself in timeout.
one rule on this show, and you've just broken it. Hang on. Lewis is having a timeout. I think sit there and think about what you've done for a little bit longer. How was your weekend, Keelan?
My weekend was good.
Did you do anything for Melbourne Cup?
No.
It was a long weekend in Australia, which means people just drink all around the country. Are you thinking about what you've done?
Can I come back?
Yeah, as long as you're thinking about.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, and what do you think?
No shout outs on the show.
He said no shout outs on the show. They're banned. Okay, you've learnt your lesson. You can come back. Great. Lewis is returning now.
Sorry, guys, about that. I'll
hope
never
you've
do it
thought
again.
about what
Probably
you've
will. I'll forget.
But we would like to thank,
Yes.
thanks aren't banned.
Yeah.
We would like to thank people who have jumped on the Patreon, and it's awesome to see. What isn't awesome to see, I mean, it's great, but we're almost up to $500 a month, which means I'm contractually now obliged to hit the World Gym
You're gonna have to
every single day.
Man, I think by the end of this episode, you might have to hit the World Gym.
That's fine. I love getting fit, you
Yeah.
know, and again, look.
I don't think you do. I think you love talking about getting fit because you
Hey.
talk about it a lot.
Of course.
I would say that
you know why I talk about it so much?
Why?
Because it's my life, and it's all about the grind.
Talking about getting fit is your life.
fitness-
Getting fit, not so much.
Fitness is my life.
You absolutely talk more than you do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
You have to think
yeah.
about
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, yep, that's true.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean. I feel like you've got to. If you're not in the mindset to exercise, then you'll never get to the point where you are. You know what I mean? You've got to. I've got to convince myself to exercise before I actually do it.
Yeah.
So that involves a lot of talking, bragging.
Yeah.
And also, as a fitness influencer,
Yeah.
you watch The Biggest Loser, right? You never saw the Commando actually doing many push-ups. He does a lot of yelling, a lot of talking.
But I would say that he definitely looks like he does a lot of push-ups, meaning that he does do them. Whereas you,
What are you trying to say
you
about
look
me?
like I'm saying that you look like the Commando if he never went to gym.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is you.
Yeah. So instead of like the Commando, I'm like the guy in IT.
Yeah.
It's-
You're the office worker.
Yeah. I didn't end up getting Hungry Jacks last night.
Oh,
Cup
that's
day.
good.
Had a festive day.
Oh yeah.
And-
You were festive because there were a couple of issues going on in the secret sound off section,
In
the
the Discord, yeah.
People were trying to get you to fix them, and all I saw were like 6 poorly spelled messages from you going, "I don't know what's happening. I'm too drunk for this." But I do appreciate the commitment of you trying to provide customer service while off your face.
Well, I was the only one out of us three that was awake.
I was
still.
busy.
Oh, yeah, you were playing World of Warcraft.
I was
You're
in
in
Azeroth.
Azeroth,
Yeah.
occupied.
I was watching all the messages come through.
And just not helping.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, right. You have the login. You
Yeah.
probably could have fixed it.
I could
and
have.
instead you were watching me going, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to
Yeah.
do. And
Way
then-
more
And then it
interesting.
ended with me going, I give up. Goodbye.
And I think that even the people in the secret sound off section would agree that was probably more entertaining than the solution.
Probably, yes. and that's what you get, guys. You get
Is
a
it
little.
even fixed now?
Yeah, I fixed it
Okay.
this morning.
Sober?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like shit
So
still.
what did you do on for Cup Day?
I sat on a rooftop
Yeah.
in Collingwood
hmm
and drank 12 to 13 beers.
That's a lot of beers.
But it's yes. Yes. Things got festive. Now, a few people in the Discord were quick to call out, well,
Yeah.
Luke, you seem to be replacing the word festive with alcoholism a lot
Yeah.
lately.
You're living quite a festive life, man.
It's just been a festive month.
Maybe you need to go to Festers Anonymous because I think you're festering there in the festive zone.
No, it was a good bit of fun. We
Yeah.
did realize, like, you know, when we got kind of, it was like, it's one of the only days of the year where all my mates have the day off. So it's
Yes,
one of the
yeah.
only days of the year where we all catch up together.
Yeah.
And we went over to one of my mates' houses, and you know, we kind of forgot. It got to about 2:45 p.m. The Melbourne Cup, the horse race, is at 3 p.m., which is why we have the day off.
Yeah.
One of those days where you kind of forget why you're actually all there.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's a public holiday and there's a horse race on. So we quickly were like, oh, is there a TV up here? Wasn't a TV. So we ran down, like, you know, got in the elevator, ran to the nearest pub, just managed to catch the start of the race,
Yeah.
and then left immediately.
Good race.
Horses were there.
Yeah.
They competed
Yeah.
and they ran
Did one
fast.
of them win?
One of them did win.
Oh,
I didn't know any of the
Incredible.
horses racing.
That's great. Why would you know any of the horses?
I mean, I usually do. I know some of the jockeys. I know
Actually, yeah, I
Damien
felt like
Oliver
this
and
year-
Craig Williams.
This year
He won
was
it.
actually the lowest attendance in a long time. It was down 20% from last year. I think
'Cause
all
of the
those
weather?
tweets from people who do fuck all are really actually doing something.
Oh, as in people don't want to support Spring Carnival anymore.
I think so. I think
I usually go. I went the last couple of years. Didn't go this year. Couldn't be bothered. It's
I
not
think
that
a lot
fun.
of young people are just over it a bit. I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's better shit to bet on now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually want to punt, you can punt on The Bachelor. You
Yeah,
can
like
punt on-
that's so much more fun.
You can punt on, like, esports probably
Yeah, you
these
can.
days. You can
Yeah.
bet on almost anything. Whereas
Logan
back in
Paul, KSI.
Oh,
I'm thinking
yeah.
about putting a bet on Logan Paul.
exactly, really,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll win for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Have you seen how he looks?
Yes,
Versus
he's a machine.
KSI. And also Logan Paul.
It's like looking in a
100%,
mirror.
He was
Like,
like,
I look at
yeah.
the way how Hardy's trained, and I'm like, this is how I see myself.
So you see,
That I'm
it's not how
12
you
beers
are,
deep and
but it is
festive.
how you see yourself.
Yes.
When you're getting a bit festive.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And also Logan Paul was like a sporty, athletic guy before he was
Yeah.
into boxing. KSI was
I mean,
just
wrestling.
always just. The only thing
was a
KSI
gamer.
has is that he's like a kind of a big black guy, and that's it. And that's a lot for
Yeah.
sure. That gives you a lot.
He's
but he
got
is also a
genetics on his
nerd.
side,
Yeah.
but he also still originally was a gaming channel.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you get big, I would back the guy who got famous for
Going
filming a dead
outside.
body over the guy who got famous for playing FIFA.
That's true.
Now, neither is a good thing to get famous for, I don't think.
No.
One's obviously worse than the other.
But one of them definitely shows
FIFA.
off
Yeah.
a sort of ruthlessness, right? A lack of care for the other human being.
Yeah.
Like disregard
Logan
for the amount
Paul
of hurt they could cause.
does
right?
have a
That's who you want in a fighter.
yeah. He has like a general disrespect for himself,
Yep.
like, and therefore other people.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't even respect himself, which
Yeah.
is why he trains so hard. It's
Mm.
why his work ethic is ridiculous. It's why he is successful.
Yeah.
However, it's why a lot of people are like, I think you're a bit of a dick.
I watched this is the most YouTube shit ever. I watched FouseyTube do
that the bald
a
guy
house tour. Yeah, the bald
That had
dude
that
with
really
the huge
embarrassing
nose.
event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy who went nuts.
What
And
was that a thing again? No one came?
He had like
Standing on
he
top of a
clearly
car?
had like a manic episode and was like, I'm gonna get Drake to show up at this music event.
And then people
And the
didn't.
only people who showed up were like maybe 300 16-year-old kids. The event got shut down. People called in bomb threats as a joke. It got shut down, and then it just ended up with him shirtless on a car going, I could do anything. And then he ended up in like some kind of mental rehab.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. which is good
Yep.
on him. But now he's
Right.
got a new YouTube show like Cribs. So that'll be fun for about 6 episodes until he runs out of people who are willing to let him in their home.
I wouldn't let that guy in my house.
Oh, way.
No.
No way. Mainly because
Also,
it would be embarrassing. The video would be like, so this is my bedroom.
And this is my mum
And-
and my
yeah.
dad. And this is where my brother sleeps because
Yep.
he's still 25 and lives at home.
Yep.
We both are pathetic.
This is Australia, and you can't afford to move out
Yep.
if you live in Melbourne. So, bye. And he'd be like, oh, man, how much did this cost? The whole thing
And
was
I'd be
like,
like-
how much did you spend on this? How much did you spend on that? Logan Paul was like, oh, this car cost me 100 grand. This car cost me 30, but I put 80 into upgrades. And I'm just sitting like in my bedroom looking at my fucking desk and be like, oh, that one's from IKEA.
Yeah.
$90.
It's like, oh, these set of plates, mum got them from Kmart.
Yeah.
$29.95, but they're on special that day.
Yeah.
21. What a bargain.
This bookshelf, also IKEA, but I've put about $1,000 into upgrades. That's all the comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the odds for the Logan Paul fight are $1.37 Logan Paul to $2.93 KSI.
Oh, really? I saw it was $1.51 for Logan Paul yesterday. Should have got on that.
Yeah.
It's going down or
Oh,
something.
he's absolutely
he's
going
gonna
to win.
smash him.
Because in that tour, he went through his training regime. He's got a chef that lives there.
Chef Katie.
You
I know
suck.
everything about this fucking guy. Keelan is the biggest secret Logan Paul fan.
Not
I'm
secret.
not secret about it.
He's not secret. He's had it as his ringtone, remember?
Oh, that's right.
He's just like, there was that team, what was that song? I don't know. The
Fall of
diss on
Jake
Jake.
Paul.
He's like,
What?
The Fall of Jake Paul.
The
That's
Fall
what
of
it's
Jake
called.
That was your ringtone.
Yeah, I set it off during
Hang on.
one of the tour legs. It was our
Don't you
alarm for
remember
one of
that?
the tour legs.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's funny. You were so embarrassed. His phone starts ringing, and I just hear Logan Paul. You go, sorry, Jake.
Hang on.
What is it?
this is what, remember?
Oh, that's right.
One time we were
That
hanging
happened
out
here.
together and you just hear, I called your house or whatever. It's like, you called your your friends. That's fucked up, Jake, or whatever. That's what we heard one day when his phone went off.
Yeah,
And I didn't know you for
That was
long.
when I first met Luke.
Yeah, that was almost my first impression of Keelan.
Oh,
was.
you were so. I've never seen a man more embarrassed. And fair enough.
I would be too. I
Yeah.
judge you a lot, and I still
Yeah.
do, and I bring it up a lot as well.
That's like me. We used to do that to my dad. Me and my brother worked out that you could change the ringtone on his phone, and you could record your own ringtone. My dad doesn't give a fuck about his phone because he's a trader. He had this shitty Nokia. So me and my brother would always grab his phone when he was like out of the house and re-record just some shit like, my phone's ringing, and it would just go off in a Bunnings like 6 days later, and he has no idea how to change it. Oh man, he'd come home embarrassed and angry. So good. I should change it to Logan Paul.
He'll be way more embarrassed.
He'd
You'd just
come
be
home
confused.
and beat me.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I'm proud of that ringtone now.
that's the only acceptable child abuse
Mm.
is when your kids like Keelan.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one.
Did we want to do some thoughts?
Yeah, we should get into a regular segment here. Thoughts. Thoughts is the regular segment where you guys just send us thoughts. If you have something that makes you go, we don't have strict rules for
No,
this.
it's pretty open ended. It's quite broad. I would
The
say
only
it's
rule is-
tidbits, little.
Yeah.
It'd have to be original because
be original.
Keelan started bringing in thoughts that were clearly off the subreddit shower thoughts.
from Reddit. Yeah, so don't. And also, when you send them in, we know that's where they're from. Okay, so stop sending us thoughts from that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some basic ones today, but I think they're quite interesting. There's some really original ones as well.
Okay, well, let's get into it. I think this is it. Oh, there we go.
Alrighty. This first one
Yep.
came in from Corey.
Okay.
He said, if you were to eat yourself, would you cease to exist or become twice as heavy?
That's a big thinker. That's a big thought. Now, obviously,
So
are we talking about reality, or are we talking about in the alternate reality where you can eat yourself?
Well, say you had it started nibbling your fingernails, you got down, got a finger, all right, just keep eating.
How much of yourself could you eat before you died?
I reckon you could eat all your limbs.
Yeah, I'd say all of your limbs for sure.
Yeah, I reckon you could snack on a foot.
Couple ears, nose, you could get down.
Yeah, if
get
you
that,
cut
that
your
locked
ears
away.
off.
Although you probably want to keep your nose
I mean,
because
you'd
the nose
bleed
helps
out.
with taste.
You'd bleed out though. This is assuming that you're.
No, if you bind everything off, you get most of your arm.
If
right?
you amputated yourself properly, then
Yeah.
ate yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a cannibal out
Oh,
there
you
that's
couldn't
done
eat
it.
all your limbs. You would need your limbs to eat and chop.
Right. Do you reckon
So
that?
unless you had a partner.
True. You'd have to have a friend, a cannibal friend.
So I would say that you wouldn't be twice as heavy. You'd just be exactly the same weight.
Do you
wouldn't
think
be able to eat
that's
yourself.
a cannibal's fantasy? Is
Maybe.
eating themselves?
There was a guy once. There was a guy once who wanted to be eaten, and a guy who wanted to eat someone.
And did they meet
did
up?
They met up and they did it together. And the guy died, obviously. This is real. But the dude fed him his own penis. They cooked it together. It was like, as
consensual eating.
As far as people can tell, it was like unbelievably consensual.
A consensual snack. Did the other guy get charged for murder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Because, but they also kind of acknowledged that, yeah, I mean, he definitely wanted it, but you can't just.
Is cannibalism illegal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's already illegal, full
Yeah,
stop.
for sure. However, another interesting thing, here's how you could eat yourself and be twice as heavy if you went to an alternate universe and found yourself, killed yourself, and ate yourself, you would be twice as heavy.
It's true.
Right.
Pretty grim chat,
I
but
think we lock that away.
It's not. It's you would actually, because you would be digesting it and pooing it out.
you'd end up shitting.
Yeah.
Shit yourself.
No. You'd shit yourself.
You would shit
You
yourself.
would literally shit yourself.
That's the true definition of shitting yourself.
What if you shit yourself and yourself? The double shit yourself. Oh, we really got to a great area there.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
good. Hey, thanks for that thought. Who was
Yep,
that?
Corey.
Corey. Good on you, Corey.
This
Hope you don't shit yourself.
This one came in from Jasmine.
Yep.
Hey boys, I've had a thought.
Oh,
The
hey,
deaf
Jess.
people think in sign language. We think with words, but if they've never heard any, how do they think?
That is a good one. That's something that I feel like everybody has thought.
Because they
Interesting.
don't know what they see us all talking,
Yeah.
but they don't
Don't know
really
what it
know what
sounds
that
like.
means.
If they've never heard,
They've never heard.
what are they thinking in their
No.
head?
It's interesting.
That
Who
is very
knows?
interesting.
That's more of a thought. We don't have an answer for that one. It's just
Got
a
another
good
one.
thought.
When blind people dream, what do they see? Anything?
And I've got another one.
I'll answer that. Have a blind friend. They see stuff, but obviously can't describe what they see because they've never seen color.
Right.
So they might well be seeing color, but they couldn't tell me what color it is.
Right.
So you
Here's
go.
another thought.
Yeah.
If blind people were to watch a YouTube video, would they need to turn on the captions?
no, they wouldn't. What? Because blind people can't read captions.
Right.
as
I
we've-
just was
as
making
we've-
sure you
yeah,
knew that.
As we've established many times on this show, since episode 1
Mm.
is we're now at episode 34.
Yep.
Still hearing about this.
Yes.
Great.
It was dumb.
Yep, dumbest thing I've ever said on the most popular episode of the show. Great. Love my life.
This one came in from Maggot.
Oh.
So change your name.
Change your name.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just got a thought. Why the fuck would you call yourself that?
Thought. Why do genders exist? I was reading a book earlier today where some insects were reproducing on their own and was struck with my thought. Why do humans, as well as most animals, even flowers, have genders? I don't think flowers are gendered, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Are they?
Wouldn't
There's
it
male
make...
flowers and female flowers?
Really?
Oh.
What's a male flower? Like a sunflower?
Are
Is
they
that
like
a male or a
roses
female?
and female roses?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Do
Yeah.
they fuck?
There's a difference between them.
I think
heard it on the
bees
Carl
help
and
them
Jackie O
fuck.
show.
Isn't that the whole thing?
I'll look it up and get back to you.
So bees
Okay.
like jerk them off?
Imagine if you had to have sex via bees.
I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
do it as much.
I don't think so either. That
Mm.
would be a big hassle. So
Yeah.
you'd be like, hey, baby, do you want to
Take this to the
sex?
bedroom and then you see and you
Yeah.
like put on your suits,
Yeah.
like your beekeeper suits, and
Yeah.
then you slowly take it off because you obviously need the bees.
yeah.
Yeah. That wouldn't be hot at all. You'd be sticky as well. There'd be a lot of honey.
Inconvenient.
I mean, regular
Although
sex
that,
is
that
sticky.
would save the bees. If you could only have sex via bees, everyone would have bees.
So anyway, Maggot said, wouldn't it make more sense from an evolutionary perspective if all things were hermaphrodites? Imagine
Yeah.
being the last two men on Earth. Your species is fucked. Whereas if you were a hermaphrodite, things would be just fine.
That's true. That is good.
So why do genders exist?
So we can argue about it on Twitter.
Ah, of course.
That's why.
Yes.
That's why. Because if we didn't have genders, what would we argue about?
Yes.
Things that are important? Certainly not.
Good. Well, that's solved.
That's
there you
solved.
go.
There you go. That's why we have genders, so we can all fight.
And that is the end of this
I've
week's
got a
thoughts.
thought.
Oh, Keelan has one. Are you banned? Can you
No,
banned
I'm
for?
not banned. This is an original thought I had.
What was the ban?
I don't know. We banned you for like 4, but I've lost track now.
Yeah, guys, we're just
I had this,
going with the flow here.
I had this thought while I was at Woolies the other day. Is it wrong to park in a disabled spot if no one else is around?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even going to
should-
hit the button.
I shouldn't even need to
actually.
explain
No, yeah,
why
that's wrong.
that is wrong.
Do you know why
Do you
no
know
one's
why?
around?
Why?
Because if someone is in an emergency and you're then parked there, you duck into the shops.
Yeah.
The whole point is that spot is reserved there so people can get easy access.
There's never that spot is never taken until it's needed. So that's why you don't take it. I've got a thought. Is Keelan an asshole?
Probably.
Did you
I
park
think
there?
so.
Yeah,
Did you park there?
of course.
You park in the disabled parking?
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Like-
How many disabled spots were there?
Like 3.
You know what? At this point, maybe he's allowed to park there.
But it was 10 p.m. No one else was there.
yeah, but
You think-
what do you think disabled people don't go out at night? Oops, it's 10 p.m. I better stay home because
I'm
I'm disabled.
I have a curfew. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
If you're in a wheelchair, you can't leave the house because Keelan needs that spot.
okay. Well,
What would happen if you left the supermarket,
Yeah.
2 disabled people parked there, and then you just walked past this dude in a wheelchair who'd parked all the way at the back, and then they saw you getting in your car, not limping?
I'd feel really bad.
Yeah, as you should.
Sometimes you astonish me with the things that you bring to this show.
Oh, I've got a good
You were
one.
like, this would be a good thing to say on a public forum.
Now-
Myself as a dick.
Now that I've just roasted Keelan, I've got a story about me fucking over the disabled. So I.
Who do I do a show with? You monsters.
Okay, well, no one was affected. But here's the thing: needed to use the bathroom. Went to Red Rooster, ordered food, and then I was like, I need to use the bathroom. So I went in there. It was like, you know how you go in and then there's the men's and the women's doors. So I was in like the little box trying to choose my destiny. Obviously, went for the men's first, but it was locked. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll just wait because I wouldn't use the women's. And then it was locked for ages. And I
Okay.
think it was locked to
That's-
stop you from going in.
That situation's fine.
Yeah.
I reckon if you use the disabled toilet, if you have
No, it was a
neither
women's disabled toilet.
option.
Women's and disabled. So I'm like definitely not allowed in there.
No.
And then this is another reason why we should evolve to get rid of genders so that I can use that bathroom, no worries. Still not disabled though.
Yeah.
But I stood there for ages and I think there wasn't even anyone in the men's. I think they locked it because men are animals and they don't know how to use a public bathroom, especially at Red Rooster.
Yeah.
Which is honestly fair enough.
So what's the point of having it there if they're just going to lock it?
Oh, just for the employee's sanity, so they don't have to deal with a poo, the likes of which we have to deal with.
Yes.
So I just went into the women's
Yep. Okay.
and didn't get caught. So
Well
as
done.
much as I shit on Keelan just then, I went into the disabled women's bathroom. So
What if a disabled woman needed to use that toilet?
I would say use the men's, love, and she'd be like, I can't, it's locked. Can you help me open the door? And I'd be like, no, and then I'd tip her chair over. And then just go about my day.
And spit on her.
And that's great. So we're in a good spot with that one too.
Yep.
Thanks for that thought, maggot or whoever it was.
Oh no, that was Keelan.
Oh, you maggot. It's a Keelan. Great. Oh man, exams are coming up.
Not for us.
Not for
because
us.
we are adults.
Adult
and
men.
Our job. Well, I mean, our job is being children, but we are adults.
Yes.
get-
But we thought we'd talk about exams.
Yeah.
As people with more experience than people going through exams, because we've done that. You haven't.
Depends where you're up to. If
You're in uni.
Yeah,
you've
if
got
you're in
more.
uni, you've had absolutely more experience
Yeah.
than us. If you are a prep, we have the same level of expertise.
And also, don't listen to the show. Clearly, as with all the disabled chat, not good influences for your life.
No.
Please stop.
yes. Well, at least people know now, if they didn't already, that you shouldn't park in a disabled spot. So that's a
Yeah.
good lesson we've all learned.
Yeah.
This show teaches morals. I didn't think we'd have to teach that, but apparently some people are blissfully unaware.
Some would say that the sign that says disabled parking only
Yes.
is enough.
Some would-
Don't need to teach anything more than that because it says only disabled people here.
I wonder if Keelan like sometimes walks around and goes, he sees the big wheelchair and he goes, "Is that me?"
I think that's me.
I'm standing.
You know what?
It's not me.
I love to sit down. This must be for me.
So yeah, it's exam time now. It's uni exam time and like the year 12 exams as well.
Yeah.
And
Crunch time.
man, I've been getting a lot of messages. People hit us up. Like people hit me up
Every
going,
year we
you
get
got any advice for me? I've got my HSC
I've
next
got
week or
some
my
advice,
VCE or
and I
whatever your
think-
thing's called.
I think that you'll agree with this. If you don't do well in your high school exams, for the remaining 60 to 70 years of your life, you will be a failure forever. There's never been anything more important than one test in high school. And if you can't comprehend that, you will never succeed.
Yeah.
I still get asked, Lewis, what'd you get in your HSC? Every time I meet someone, actually, every time I meet an adult,
And that's
what'd
so
you get
weird
in your
because
HSC?
you didn't even do HSC.
And that's why I'm doing a podcast out of a warehouse instead of living a good life, because I
Yes.
failed an exam.
Oh no, but also you don't live in New South Wales. Well, you did
Seven-
VCE.
Whatever.
HSC is New South Wales.
Oh, right.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Um,
guys, that's how little it
You-
fucking matters. I have forgotten what it's called. Doesn't matter, bro.
It doesn't. No, but no, I disagree with you that I agree with you in the sense that it is the most important thing you'll ever do in your life. If you actually get below a B, you'll die. That's what happens.
You do
Someone
get
told
shot.
me once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm a ghost.
All those
Because I got a
people,
D minus.
all those people rolling around in wheelchairs, parking in the disabled parking, other than Keelan, those people are just people who narrowly survived the attempted murder that they got for getting a lower
Yes.
than a B.
Those are the people that mucked up the conclusion of their essay on Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, if you fuck up Romeo and Juliet, you get maimed for life.
But also free parking.
pretty good.
My
My actual thoughts are, hey,
Chill out.
stress less. Your teachers definitely make it seem like a bigger deal than it is because
Only
you know
because
what?
you're
It's their life.
it's their life, and also it's because your school is trying to like get a good overall school, so then they can like charge more,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Especially if you're at a private school.
At the end of the day, with the VC and the HSC stuff, the better a school does, the more funding they get. When the more funding a school gets, the more money the principal can pay themselves.
Yes.
So really, the test matters for the school much more than it matters for you. I think the only time the HSC, I suppose, really does matter, I guess, is if you actually really want to be a doctor
Yeah.
now.
If you like want to be an engineer, doctor, something that you have to do a degree for, and there's no other way into that field. Like you have to be qualified to do something like that.
Yeah.
If, like people, if you want to go on a sports,
You can't be
fucking
really
therapy
passionate
and-
about being a doctor.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I'll just like have a gap year and just try it out here and there.
Yes.
Do like open mic doctor nights, open mic surgery. Can't do that.
But I would say, like, even if you don't get what you wanted, like, I reckon there's one person out of my friendship group who actually, like, everyone thinks they want to do the thing out of high school. Like, oh my God, like, I'm going to get out, I'm going to study psychology because you did well in that subject at school. Then you
Yeah.
go to uni. One person in my friendship group actually finished their degree that they
Yeah.
first started off doing out of high school. Everyone changes
I don't
around.
think I know anybody.
Everyone does a year of a thing and then
Yeah.
just goes, this is shit. Like it's quite common.
Yeah.
I would say it's more common to pull out of your degree than to finish it.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Like
that
the first one you do.
that's why I always tell people, man, what's your advice? My biggest advice is take a gap
Work
year.
out what you want
Definitely take
instead
a
of
gap
rushing
year.
into something that you kind of think you might want because
Yeah.
society tells you that you should do uni. Because it is that I felt that level of pressure.
Yeah,
like
so
I
did I.
did a year of music business management, like
Yeah.
to the behind the scenes of music.
Yeah.
And in that year, I learned that there was no money in music,
Yeah.
so I dropped out.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I learned.
I think that you need to take a gap year.
I was like, I'll do comedy instead.
Yeah. Heaps of money there.
Dumbass.
I think that you need to take a gap year because if you think about it, if you're like in studying for VC, HSC, whatever, your whole life is only school, right? You go to kinder, you go to primary school, you go to high school, and then you have no idea what having a job is like.
And
You've never worked 9 to 5 in your life.
Like working a KFC is probably a little bit different to like 5 days a week at a law firm, you know?
Yeah, but like you've never
that's
had
what I mean. They
you've
don't know.
never had a job, like a real job. So you don't even know. Like if you've never gone 9 to 5 anywhere, not even school.
Yeah.
So if you haven't experienced that, how do you know that the thing you want is actually what
See,
you want to do?
all I knew is that I didn't want a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
That's all I knew coming out of high school. Didn't know what that was going to be.
Yeah.
Did not have comedy in mind.
Yeah.
I liked music and stuff. And I wanted to be in a band, but I didn't think I was talented enough. So I was like, oh, I could get in the behind the scenes of it
Yeah.
and just be in that industry.
Yeah.
And that would have been, I probably might still be doing that. I don't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for this.
I don't think
Probably
I would
nothing.
have gone as hard in comedy if I hadn't experienced what having a job was like. Because I loved comedy and I always wanted to do it, but I didn't know that I had
That's
to
why
do
I
it to
work
be
hard.
happy.
I work hard because there's no plan B here.
Yeah.
There is no backup plan.
I've
If
seen
this
the
doesn't work
alternative.
out,
Woo!
I'm fucked.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, I just think that you need a little bit more life experience because otherwise, right? So you do primary school, you do high school, and then you go into university
Yeah.
for 4
And
years.
by the way,
maybe.
bear in mind, this is advice from two guys who never went to uni.
But also
I
two
did TAFE.
guys who are very happy with their lives and where they're going.
That's true.
Despite not being incredibly successful,
Yeah.
right? Because what the ultimate goal is, like, to be happy and satisfied with where you're going and what you're doing,
Yep.
right? The way to do that is not to make your parents or society, whatever that is, happy by doing what you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I
that's
just
what-
think there is a pressure in like that.
So
there's
much
the
pressure.
stages of life where you
Yeah.
like finish high school, go to uni, and in America it's college or whatever. And
Yeah.
mate, I don't know anything about America. I don't know. I'm assuming it's the same thing, but you just live on campus, right? It's the same.
I think there's a lot of campus living, but it's
Yeah.
the same thing except the debt is more
Do
horrendous.
you have to go to college to get a job in America? I don't know.
Probably similar.
Yeah.
But I think that every single person should have a gap year because also if you
just
let's
work.
say you don't have a gap year, right? High school, primary school, high school, university, and then you get your degree and then you go into a job. When the fuck are you going to actually live your life as a young person? Are you going to take a year off the job that you just tried so hard to get? Probably not.
Yeah.
So it's either have it now, and when you have no responsibility, you probably don't pay rent, you got no kids, no debt, do it now while you can, and while it won't hurt you. That's what I think.
The hard thing is, I think, is trying to convince. I know a lot of people. My parents were great in the sense that they were like, "Yeah, do whatever you want," and they were supportive of me dropping out of a degree to do comedy.
Yeah.
Like as I was doing open mics, and I was like, "This is my career now," and they were pretty good in the sense
Yeah.
that they were like, they were concerned. They were like, "Okay, we'll give you a year."
Yeah.
And if it's not going anywhere, if we're like, they were kind of like, look, we'll give you a year, but if we see no progress, you need to go study something else.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be homeless.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people struggle with just getting that by their parents. I'm sure like that sounds like a good go to a gap year. There's probably some people watching this right now going, but I don't think I'm allowed to. It's not really up to them, and that's where you have to kind of.
It's not. My parents
Go,
really did. My parents really wanted me to do something.
There is a level of pressure.
There
I
was-
get the thing of like
yeah.
not wanting to disappoint the people around you because they've put you through schooling, and some parents are more strict than others and have more of a plan and get more involved.
Yeah.
I think that's not necessarily the right thing, but
Ultimately, it is your life, and eventually, right, you're going to move out at 20-something, fucking hopefully,
Yep.
right? And then your parents are not going to be there, but you're still going to be living life for them. What are you doing?
yeah.
Is that your plan, to
So
just do whatever everybody else thinks you should do?
And also, if it is something creative, like a lot of people might listen to this, might be pursuing something creative, whether it's writing, art, whatever, music. I think the best time is now because
Yeah.
you can fail. Like by the way, when we say take a gap year, I figured out halfway. So I finished year 12, had half a year, didn't know what I was doing. Then June that year, I figured out I think I want to do comedy.
Yeah.
It's not like I just kept piss fighting around.
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon
the
as I
gap year is to
realized
try things.
you try things. So like
Yeah.
don't just party and do nothing. That's a waste of time. But like
Because there are a lot of people who fall into that, like where they just go to
That's-
clubs. That's another thing that you got to avoid. Stay the fuck out of nightclubs every weekend.
Every weekend,
I've
it's not
seen
good.
so many people destroyed. I'm 25 now, so all of my friends, the people who are doing that every weekend for like 1 year, 2 years, they haven't recovered.
no.
They
they're
haven't
fucking
caught
nowhere
up.
still. But yeah, I would say you definitely like once you figure out the thing you want to do, like just go ham, because there's no better time to try it and fail. And who
You can
cares if you
afford to
fail?
be broke
You know why?
now.
Because you'll end up being 21 and maybe go into a degree. Who cares? That's still young as
If you think, if you
hell,
think
like-
about it, you're 18 when you leave high school.
You could try a thing for 3 years.
years of trying something.
Yeah.
You'll figure out whether or not you have potential there. And if you have no potential, and at the end of the time, you have 3 years of fucking great memories and life experience.
Yeah.
You've been fucked over. You've worked out how to grind. You've made a lot of mistakes, and you know how to avoid them. And then you can actually start.
It
Plan
sounds
B,
so.
if you want, or a new thing,
Yeah.
spend another 3 years at it. You're still under 25. You're 24. You're young as fuck.
It sounds so cheesy, but like sometimes you do have to like fail at something.
Yeah.
Or you think you want something. Like I really thought I wanted to do music, and I kind of failed at it. Realized I didn't enjoy it, and realized I wasn't that passionate about it as soon as I started doing it.
Yeah.
In high school, because music was always better than school, so I was like,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Got out of school, and then all I had to do was just work in music. I was like, oh, I don't love it that much. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you have to try something, maybe fail at it or do well at it, and then that would be our advice. Because a lot of people do message us, what do I do after high school? And it's like, firstly, don't know ya.
If you're
Dumb question.
If you're asking someone else, that means that you don't know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Which means you need to try shit.
Yeah, and
You need
and
to try
that's
so many different things. Try art. Try math.
Yeah.
Maybe you like math. There's
And
people out there that like
by
that
the
shit.
way,
Nerds.
that can also be. There's nothing wrong. As I was saying earlier, I think I made it sound like it was a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with trying it. If you really are set on doing a degree and you've got it booked in already and you
Go
know
for
what
it.
school and
Kill
you
that.
really want to do it, that's a good thing to try also.
Yeah.
And it might not work out. Who cares? At least you've tried it. You'll have some bit of hex debt, which sucks, but
Well, that's another thing. Like
Yeah.
I did fucking music production
Yeah.
at TAFE for some
you know mine
stupid
cost me
idea.
13 grand for a year. I
Yeah.
did 1 year, wasted a year doing it. Cost me 13 grand.
And now we
Mine's
have to pay
22.
that back.
Mm.
Yours is 22?
I looked at it yesterday. It's
Yeah.
22 grand.
You know what keeps going up as well? No, I was talking about this on my podcast, just as a heads up for young people. Not many people know. It's called indexation.
Yeah.
And it keeps going up by the cost of living every year by a small percentage. So your hex debt goes up by about $700 a year. So I started paying mine off manually
Yeah.
because I don't want it to just keep going up.
You know,
every
that's like, you know,
If you
it
can pay
goes
it
up
off.
700, then
Yeah.
it'll start going up 1,000, then bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, and
And
then
then
you never paid off.
some people have like a $50,000, and people go, oh, whatever, it doesn't come out of my money until I hit 50 grand a year. I think it's like when you start making over $50,000 a year.
So yeah, but
Then
that's
you-
the thing.
But it's 5% of your income just gone,
Yeah, and also it's like if you keep fucking around and changing degrees and doing all this stuff because you never really wanted to do it, you're just doing it because you feel like you should be doing it. Then when you do find the thing that you want to do or the thing that you settle on, all of a sudden you're paying $50,000 for shit that you are not using, that you never wanted to do and you regret doing.
Yeah.
So much money to throw in the bin.
Yeah. So do something if you're very set on it and you think that's what you want to do, but it doesn't mean it's going to work out, or it doesn't matter. It just,
Yeah.
But if you really are unsure, we would actually recommend you don't do it.
For like a year, just try shit.
Just
try,
hold off and see if
Yeah.
you want it a year later. Then if you still think, all right, no,
Yeah.
this is what I want to do, then do it.
I think that everybody needs to experience working 9 to 5 because there are so many people that have no idea what that's like. Even if it's just at a call center or if it's just like laboring for a work site.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you
used to do
think you want to be a
furniture removal.
tradie, do some hard labor because that's what it is.
Yeah. I used to lift pianos up staircases.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
For $15 an hour.
We interrupt this life advice to tell you about underwear. The best advice you could get, which is get yourself a good pair of underwear, please. Changed my life. Remember when you used to wear bonds?
Yeah,
Like
in
a
high
peasant?
school. I remember
Gross.
rocking up to my exams and my butt was itchy. Like, ugh.
And the waistband was all stretched.
Yeah.
Yuck. Not good.
So bad. And like you after like a couple of washes, the
Yeah.
fabric would lose its color.
Not
You'd be
good.
wearing faded undies.
So you know what that would never happen with?
What?
Nobby, which you
Really?
can get for $20 a month. They
Is
send
that
you a
all?
new pair of underwear
You're
every
kidding.
single month.
No
So
way.
that means, right, if at the start of the year you have your first Nobby
I'm
underwear
flabbergasted.
and somehow it loses its elasticity, I
It
don't know.
never would.
It never would, but
But
if
random
If you
hypothetical.
ran through fire and it got, so it got some flames on it, right?
Maybe it will be slightly affected by that.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
We definitely can't promise that they're flame proof.
no, they're not.
Because if they were, that's all you would see firefighters wearing is just Nobby underwear,
They're
right?
not flame retardant underwear.
No, but if you were to run through fire, it might get a bit damaged. No worries, because, year after that, every single month, new pair of underwear.
New pair of undies.
You get rid of that one, no worries.
Well,
You're
that
still
sounds-
stocked up.
That sounds like an incredible deal.
Yeah.
It sounds like
It sounds like the kind of deal that would lock you into some kind of contract that's permanent.
no,
But does that happen?
no, because it's flexible and you can change any time.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes, so it does sound
No
like that
way.
type of deal. There's no catch.
What's the catch?
I don't think there is one.
So nobby.com.au,
No, there's no catch.
$20 a month, you get a brand new pair of underwear. They're genuinely really, really good quality, and we stand by it, and they support the show, so support them.
Yes.
All right, now back to us telling you how to live your life. And if you
I
want
don't
to
know
do a
why. In
trade,
hindsight, don't know why I did that.
do a fucking trade, bro. They make so much money. All of my trading mates are loaded.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. People go, good, dumbass doing a trade.
They're some of the smartest people ever. They're
Yes.
doing good, honest work. They're actually creating something. A lot of these corporate
Dude, I'm not
jobs.
smart enough to be an electrician. I
No
would
way.
zap myself.
Yeah, my brother does trade. He does carpentry, and he was driving me around. He was showing me, I built that. I did the floors here. I think that's so cool to like walk
Yeah.
around and see your completed work.
It's like
When I worked
rewarding.
in an office, I did nothing. I was a cog in a machine. I achieved fucking nothing. There was no work.
This is inspiring for all the people out there who might be listening to this right now
What?
in an office.
That's what was most frustrating for me is I just felt like a fucking cog in a
Yeah.
machine that was just spinning and making nothing.
Yeah.
And now, the stuff that we do.
It's like the Lego movie. Have you seen that? Where they're all just like,
Yeah.
everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Like brainwashing them. They're all going to work and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's
that-
just
was-
that system.
Is that
Like
what the movie was about? I think so.
like you guys got to realize like all these universities, right? School,
It's a
high
business.
school, universities, that is a private company, privately
business.
owned company. Jazz, my girl, worked for Monash for a bit. They make billions of dollars.
I'm not surprised.
Billions, right? Because they sell all their degrees and they make stacks of money. And
yeah,
then they
imagine
also,
if we charge people 13 grand a year to listen to this podcast.
God, I wish.
And you'd probably gain a lot more.
Oh, absolutely,
No,
right?
you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't get anything. You'd be like,
But also, you get the same amount out of a lot of degrees, which is not a lot.
yeah, fuck all.
Yeah, fuck
like,
all.
Honestly, if you do
We would be
a
rich.
degree for 3 months,
We'd be billionaires if everyone paid
you get as
13
much
grand.
out of a 3-month degree that you end up switching or quitting than you do out of this podcast.
Yeah.
So cough.
I learned, and even like with the thing, obviously mine's maybe a bit specific, but I did study the thing.
Yeah.
So I studied putting on events like music and stuff, and that's all the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'd studied that for a year. I learned 3-4 times as much the next year when I organized my own tour. Just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes for a thing like that, especially, don't study it.
No,
Don't study like
do it.
event management or something.
No.
Just go to your local council. They run youth events or something. Start putting on events.
Or even that,
You know
if,
what?
if you want to be a photographer,
Yeah.
don't do a course. DM a rapper or a comedian with
And
7,000 followers
take a fucking
and be like,
photo
hey,
of
man, I'll take photos for you for free.
Yeah, anything creative, if you learn how to be creative, I think it's kind of a waste of time.
I
It's
think so.
important learning how to learn,
Yeah.
right? But I think you should already know that after high school. You need to learn how to learn,
Yeah.
but after you already know how to like learn new things and then apply it. just
And
do
if
it
you
yourself.
truly
It's
love
such
the
a waste of
creative
time.
thing, you're just doing it because you love it. If you don't love it and if you don't do it every day, maybe you just like the idea of you being a photographer.
Oh,
You
dude.
don't actually
I know.
like
Think
doing
about how
it.
many comedians we would know
Yeah.
that like the idea of being a comic more than
Yeah.
and are not willing to actually put in the work and stuff that I think a lot of people fantasize the idea of being successful at something, but are not willing to do what it takes, the shitty behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah. So
to
many
get there.
times you talk to
Because
someone at an
you
open
see
mic.
in their name and lights. People
Yeah.
people want that. They want
Yeah.
the final product. They want what you guys see almost.
Yeah.
Like
But they don't
the
see
once a year
the
show at the
shit.
comedy festival, and
Yeah.
then they're not willing to actually put in the work to get there, so it doesn't work out for them. They think they want it, but it's like, no, if you don't enjoy the process
Yeah.
of whatever you're doing, whether it's something boring or something like
and the
creative.
process is not putting it out and everyone going, well
Yeah.
done. It's the 6 hours of fucking admin that
Yeah.
you did and responding to
I'm sure
emails and
there's-
editing videos and shit.
Bet there's a guy who wants to be a real estate agent, and he might have seen an auction and been like, "Man, I want to do the thing
wanna
where
do the auction."
where I
Yeah.
slap the fucking
Yeah.
thing on the
That's
sign
what
and it
it
says
is.
sold."
Yeah.
He wants to be that guy, and then
Yeah.
he's not willing to actually work out how to sell a house.
Chase down clients,
Yeah.
find buyers, all of that shit. That's what it is, man. You need. I
You need to
think
find
that,
something you love the process of doing.
yeah. And if you don't have so many people don't know what they want to do, and that's also fine because you have such a small, tiny world.
How are you supposed
when
to
you're
know
in high
what
school?
you're supposed to do when you're in high school? You've done nothing.
You know.
I'd never
maybe
even seen stand up
Yeah.
in high school. I saw stand up March out of school
Yeah.
that year.
I'm very lucky in
after
the sense
school.
that my mum took me to see stand up when I was 12 and I just
not
saw
even
it.
that.
If I never saw stand up, maybe I would just be working in sales still, hating
Maybe.
my life. And I only worked out that I wanted to do this because I fucking saw it. If you haven't seen a bunch of
Yeah.
shit, you need to take a year off and experience your life.
I used to always tell my teachers what are you gonna do? And the only thing I'd ever say is like, I'm not gonna have a real job, and they're like, that you can't do that. And
You can,
look at me now.
but you know what? You definitely work more than the average 9 to 5
Oh,
person.
for sure.
Like you earn your piece of shit days.
Yes. Yeah, but it's good. You can choose when you work.
Yeah.
Like if I want to get a little festive.
With
once
what
a
you were
week,
saying
I can
about
get
creative
festive.
jobs,
Yeah.
when I did my film course, I learnt more working with you for like 2 weeks than I did that whole 8 months.
Because you were actually doing shit.
Yeah.
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 Like that's
practical
another thing.
skills.
Like when I hired Keelan, I looked at a bunch of shit. I put a post out and I got all of these applications. I didn't give a fuck whether someone was studying. I got so many.
Oh,
I'm
that's what
studying
I
this.
got
I finished
when I
this
did mine.
degree. I didn't give a fuck.
I did a certificate for, and who gives a fuck? And I was like, have you ever done work? And they were like, no.
There you go. Here's the thing. I don't hire people who have never had jobs, and I'm not talking like experience in the same field. I'm talking if you've never had a 9 to 5 job, I don't want you because you don't
Not a
know
9 to
if you can
5.
work.
Just
No, but like
part-time.
5 days a week.
Some people I've never worked 9 to 5, and we
and
work
that's why I
together
would
every day.
never hire you. I would never. No, but like I
When
don't.
you're 18, it's hard to have that experience. But yeah, if you've never even had a part-time shitty
Yeah,
job,
if you've never had a part time,
Yeah.
I'm not talking like full time. You haven't had.
That's-
If
you
you've
just
never
said full-time.
worked, well, whatever, man. I'm a box of lies. People who haven't worked, I didn't care about degrees. Yeah, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna look at stuff they've actually made and finished, and that's what I did. And that's how I got this cunt, unfortunately.
yeah, and that's
No,
why we
but
got
Keelan-
stuck with Keelan. So
you know-
maybe not a good idea for the next person.
No, but that's what it is. And then Keelan got experience
Yeah, but Keelan
actually doing shit.
like that's the thing. We didn't want someone like what Keelan's job is also different to what you can study. There's
Yeah.
no degree of how to do social media and online content.
Yeah.
It's like every degree in that field is TV editing or I don't know, that's it, TV and film.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
all
studying
those.
creative jobs, like
Also,
they're so far behind because if you think about it,
the
like
degrees don't even teach what you need to
No.
actually be big, which is the internet now, and
Yeah.
not like I think we did 1 week on website design in that course I did.
yeah,
Probably one of
on
the most.
website design, and websites are kind of dead. Like no one really uses websites
I mean,
unless you're trying to sell
I
tickets
was
or
gonna
something.
say like that was the only week that actually helped me
Yeah,
because I had to make a website the next year for my own shit,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, I've done this before. There was 1 week,
yeah.
and the rest of it like was just like, oh, how to be a publisher, and I was like, why would you get a publisher anymore? Like just
You are the publisher.
yeah, just get on
Publish.
SoundCloud and post your shit.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's like it's changed. So any kind of this is mainly creative because creative is
Yeah.
what we know. Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you have to get that
Yeah.
degree.
If you're
But
already,
that's only if you want to be a doctor, rather than your parents going, "You must be a doctor." You know.
I think the main summary here to conclude would just be we are both large advocates of do what you want to do in life, otherwise you'll be unhappy,
Yeah.
no matter what that is.
Yeah.
Because
And
we
the-
see a lot
yeah.
of people unhappy. As people who are on the other side, fortunately, we are very fortunate to get to do what we love every day, and that's also thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, as people are on the other side, it always sucks seeing people you're close with like go down a hole, and you can tell they're not happy.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
see
because
it, you
it's
see
because
it,
they
you know?
didn't take a risk like 3 years ago when they should have.
And that's honestly most people.
And fuck
which
it,
is a
even if you're
shame.
25 and hate yourself now, there's no better time.
I think
now.
that honestly, as long as you don't have
You could
kids,
be 40 listening to this and going like, "Oh, they're right."
Yeah.
And cool.
as long as you don't have kids that you need to feed and look after, or
Yeah.
maybe a mortgage, like
I've
what
seen
the
people
what
with
the
families
fuck is?
follow their dreams, do a career change. It's a risky one, but
Well,
it
yeah,
happens.
but they might have someone helping out with bills. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like if no one's really like depending on you, what's the problem with being broke for a few years while you do the thing you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, what's the actual issue?
7-Eleven coffee's cheap as anyway.
Yeah,
It's easy to be
just
broke these
eat
days.
shit and suck at it for years until you're not. And if you don't know what you want to do, I think that's a huge red flag where you should definitely not go to uni. Because
Yeah.
otherwise you're just getting into debt, gambling on the off chance that maybe you'll like this. Fuck that. Try shit.
Boom.
There you go.
That's our advice. So,
Caveat, I failed high school.
and don't take anything we say as fact because we're morons. All right.
Yeah.
Next.
But we're very good at comedy and we're very happy people. So maybe
Yes.
that matters more than fucking whatever, mum going, oh, great. You have a degree. Yeah, but I'm really sad. That's
Yeah.
all right. Makes me feel good. And then your mum dies and you just have like a fucking shit life and
Mm.
no one to impress.
I hate catching the train in the morning, and like these 60% of the people look unhappy.
Oh, that
It's
that
so brutal.
honestly used to freak me out when I was working 9 to 5 in the city. I would take the train and I would freak out I would look at a guy who's like 40 and he looked as sad as I did, wearing the same clothes, like the same brand, the same dress code, and I'd look at me and him and I'd be like, the only difference between me and this sad man
It's 20 years.
is 20 years
Fuck.
of this.
Yeah.
And it would freak me the fuck out. And that's like how unhappy I was doing something I didn't want to do is the main driving force still on why I do this. It's like
Yeah.
I love it, and just behind it is if I don't make it, I'm back there.
Literally, that's me. Like, if I don't get up today and edit a video, like,
Yeah.
there's some days, obviously, we love what we do, but everyone has days where you're like, God, I just love to have an hour and just
Yeah.
watch YouTube or like
Yeah.
just kick my feet up for a bit.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, dude, if you don't get a video up tonight,
Yeah.
you're going to be the guy on the train.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no.
It's like if you were to visualize it, it's a combination of us running towards the goal while running away from the sadness.
yeah, the sadness is like chasing us. And we're like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
So come here, get a job, 9 to 5, coffee in the morning, cocaine on Fridays. Cool. All right. Do you think we've covered that? Do you have anything more to add,
I think
Keelan, as someone younger than us?
I didn't do year 12, and that didn't affect me.
You didn't do year 12.
That's cool.
No, I didn't do year 12.
I didn't even know that. What did you do?
I did the film course instead.
Is that why you're younger?
Yeah.
Because that made no sense. You came to us as a 19-year-old,
I
already
came
done
as
a degree.
And that's the
18.
thing you can do. You don't have. You don't even. If you're younger than year 12, you don't even
What
have
did your
to do year
parents
12.
think about that?
I didn't tell my. I only told my mum when I was signing up for the course.
No, but when you dropped out of year 12, were they like freaking out?
Oh, my mum didn't care. She thought it was cool. Well, she thought it was good.
Yeah.
And then my dad was a bit like, well, why? But
Yeah.
now that he sees that I have a job, it makes sense to him.
See, I didn't even know. So going
didn't
back to
even know that.
the school money thing, my school was it's a very prestigious school, and it's in their best interest to have good VCE marks because that means all of the foreign students, like from all of the rich Chinese
You're a
students.
private school?
Huh? No, public
Oh.
school, but they act like a private one.
Right.
They get all of the foreign students who pay literally 3 times the amount up front,
Mm.
which means the school gets more money, which means the staff get paid more money, which means the principal can attract more foreign students. It's all a fucking scam to get more money into the system.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like if I knew at like
You
16,
Should have dropped out. For
I
sure.
should have done that. I would have loved to do like a film course instead of
Yeah, you
year 11
wasted
and
a
12.
year.
I definitely a year in high school. I wasted, but I
See, I still tried.
I
up
wouldn't
until the end.
recommend dropping out of year 12. I still I
Yeah.
don't I think that year 12 was really good for me because it taught me how to make friends with like adults. Almost adults.
I had a fun year in year 12. It was just
Yeah.
fun because everyone was turning 18 and everyone was driving.
The social
parties,
aspect
like,
of it,
Yeah, that
I
was.
think is super important. Like if you
fun.
dropped out like
And yeah, I
17, I don't know how you
Yeah.
would really like where you would meet people your age.
Yeah, and I had fun as well. Like, and I know, like I was partying and stuff. I didn't drink until schoolies, so I didn't drink all through year 12 and stuff. I
Yeah.
was just generally just had a fun year,
Yeah.
having fun. jumping into bushes at high school. That's where I started filming videos at
Yeah.
lunchtime. Was we just used to film ourselves kicking over shit and doing flips and whatever. And
That's another
hurting
thing.
each
Like
other.
like I was doing like face beef shit and fucking
Yeah.
around. I never took it seriously. It was just for fun.
it's a good time
That's
of
another
your
thing
life
is
to
just-
just like fuck around
You
and
can afford to make shit
oh
and
yeah,
be
it's
shit and
so
just
garbage,
do
the
it.
stuff we were doing.
So just fucking, I don't know, post your photos.
I'm gonna
on
like I've
Instagram
kept
or
all these
whatever.
videos. There's a secret Facebook group out there of all these videos of me in year 12,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna wait till like maybe like 100K special or something like that.
Yeah, I've
wait
seen
till
a
later
couple.
on.
They're great.
Oh yeah, it's like oh my god, and I want to wait as well till I look way younger. I already
Yeah.
look heaps different. It's
Yeah.
weird. I had a shaved head in year 12 for a bit.
So
Because you
did
know
I.
why? Because I went on Central Australia camp and we all were like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Luke came back with a shaved head?
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
Was it funny?
it was funny.
For how long? 2 minutes?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
and then you
everyone
just had a
called me
shaved head.
leukemia.
That's good. That's funny.
Yeah,
That
good
kept
stuff.
it going.
Mm.
That's good. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that at like from 18 to 21, that is the least amount of responsibilities you will ever have in your life.
But getting back
Ever.
to the whole,
So use that.
that's all good advice for after school, but also just the exam stuff. Chill out, you dork. That's
Yeah.
what I'd say. People go, oh, no, good exam. Like people message us going, I can't come to your show, man. I'm sorry, I've got an exam in 2 weeks.
It's like, yes, you can.
And you're like,
cunt.
what? It's like, no, I've got to be studying. I'm like, oh, you're going to be studying on a Saturday night.
You're going to be studying on a Saturday night for 4 hours between the hours of 7 p.m. and 11
And
p.m.
it's not
Are
even,
you?
it's not even because of our show. I don't care about that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't come. But like, don't ruin your
miss
life.
out on your life.
Yeah.
Because you have an
Study
exam.
hard, but don't, study hard in the hours of school.
Maybe the 3 days before the actual exam.
yeah,
like
spend 5 hours a day doing it. But,
but
other
2
than that,
weeks beforehand, you can have fun on a Friday.
people spend like 10 hours a day actually studying. It's so funny to
No,
me.
they don't. They spend 2 hours studying. They spend 8 hours scrolling and then
Yes.
being like, oh, I should be studying. I'm going to go back and highlight this. Oh, I just forgot what I highlighted, but at least it looks good.
I watched 3 seasons of Beauty and the Geek during my year 12 exams.
And that was just stress watching.
I was just procrastinating. It's just me. I just played video games. I didn't give a shit. By the end, I lost interest. And
Yeah.
I still did alright. I got a 69. That's the only reason why I
That's
remember
pretty good.
it. Because I got the text in the morning, and everyone like woke up early to get the text,
Yeah.
and I forgot it was the day, and then I woke up like 10 a.m. because
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit, and I woke up to all these messages from my friends like, "What did you get?" They're like 3 hours ago. I was like, "Oh, that's today. I'll check." And I was like 69. I screenshot and I was posting it everywhere. It was great.
That is
So
good.
go for a 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, study hard for that 69. If you get a 70, you
Yeah.
fucked up.
I would have been so annoyed if I had got a 70.
Yeah.
I would have been shitty. Like so mad.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So can we talk about this?
Yeah.
The most exciting news to happen in the last decade, or
What?
since 2013, since the band broke up. My Chemical Romance are back.
How come you can talk about this, but I can't talk about the World of Warcraft
boy,
expansion?
Just carry on. Yeah, are you pumped? You must be even a little excited. I think everyone's excited to hear.
I
that
think
My
it's.
Chem's
I want to
back.
see them wearing eyeliner and being 40. That's
wanna
what I want to
see-
see. How old
Yeah.
are they? Like,
If you don't know, this is what
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. Hang on, skip to the chorus. You'll know the chorus.
hang on, I don't want to get claimed. Not too much of
Hang
it,
on.
please.
He's 42 now.
This
They're
bit.
42. Wow.
Yeah,
Gerard
they
Way.
have this song. I'll sing it so we don't get claimed.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
As I
That's good.
I can't wait to see Fat Gerard Way on stage dancing.
Yeah, he got
Yeah, one
chubby,
of them's
didn't he?
fat, hey, which is
Yeah.
so
He
not
used to be
on when you're in like a punk
Such a
band.
snack. Meg and I were talking about it this morning, and it's like, dude, he was this is what every teenage girl went through, right?
Yeah.
This is what every emo
I think
girl.
you and Meg, the number one thing you bond over is people who you would rather fuck than each other.
Yes. people who we gladly
Like,
invite
geez,
in.
you know who would be better than you? Oh yeah, he would. He
yeah,
would.
yeah, and she agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is what every 13-year-old girl goes through, right?
Oh,
Attractiveness
he is
wise.
fat. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's funny. Who's that?
That's the lead.
The
That's
The lead
Gerard Way.
singer.
Way,
That's
yeah.
see the bass player. He can get chubby.
Of course.
The drummer,
no,
no
one cares.
worries. You can't tell. Just see
Can't
the
even
arms.
see him.
The singer, bro,
Yeah.
get on a treadmill.
Yeah, if you can't crowd surf, you probably shouldn't be the front man.
At least hit the world gym.
So this is what every 13-year-old girl goes through, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, They
And you
like,
would know this.
Yes, because I did this transition as well. First, they're all in love with Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, the guy with the fringe. Then they grow up a little bit
Yeah.
and they fall in
He was
love
always
with
chubby.
Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, the
Yep.
lead man.
Yep.
And then once they get a little bit of taste and they get a little bit of edgier in their later teen years, every girl fell in love with Jared Way, the guy from My Camp.
And then they become adults and they fall
Yes.
in love with Jared Leto.
Yes, yeah, he's like the final
30
transition, and
Seconds
then
to
they join
Mars.
his cult.
He's the final form. Like, oh my God, he's so sexy with face tats and green hair.
Yeah, and that's
I
and
wish
that,
I could be his Harley Quinn.
yeah. That is every girl.
Yeah.
And I went through that phase. And then this is what guys are stuck with.
Yeah.
Guys are stuck with
Tits
no,
and ass.
no,
Sick.
no, but every emo guy like who's likes that music is stuck with Hayley Williams is kind of hot.
Maybe the Veronicas.
Yeah,
If they're
again.
both there.
I was also talking about this to Meg. I've met them on the weekend at the festival.
And in person?
Yeah,
Yeah?
and very small people, and
Oh,
I
really?
would feel like I'm.
Mm.
Yep, I'd
Yeah.
feel like a creep.
Jeffrey Epstein,
Mm.
who
They-
did not kill himself,
Look,
by
they,
the way.
they're not children because they're adults. They're
Yeah.
grown adults and they're very talented. Good on them. Love the Veronicas. Incredible live, actually.
Yeah.
And but
But you know what they look like live? They look like they are partying while watching the Wiggles because they look like children.
yes,
They're
Yeah.
only 5 foot tall each.
they're so
5
tiny,
foot
man.
tall.
5
Dude,
foot
they are
two.
some of the smallest
That's
people
crazy.
I've ever seen.
And they're really skinny too.
They are in proportion, so they're almost the height of a dwarf.
How far do
But-
you reckon you could throw a Veronica?
Like hammer throw or discus.
What would the rules be? I would say
Like,
probably hammer. No, I don't think
That's hammer
I don't
throw.
think you get them up.
Or could I like?
I reckon hammer
shot
throw,
put.
but low.
Okay, like toss.
How about a free form throw?
what about a bucket toss of Veronica? How
What's a bucket toss?
kind of like when you like bucket shot. When you go
Oh
like that.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
okay.
don't know why it's got a bucket shot.
The world record for throwing a dwarf is 9 meters.
That's so far.
I reckon I could.
Who's got the record? Is it the guy who threw or the dwarf? I think they both deserve it.
I reckon I
Uh,
could.
Jimmy Leonard, a UK truck driver.
Is the Jaws the truck driver because he's like, there's nothing wrong with tossing a midget. Like he hasn't talked to anyone
I
from
drive
the real
trucks and I throw dwarves.
2010, the record was set.
world. That's awesome.
I reckon I could yeet a Veronica about 10 meters.
Yeet me up.
I feel so thrown. I don't know.
Don't know. I like
I don't
yeet,
know,
yeet
maybe
me
that's-
up
yeet
was
me up was
better.
better.
Yeet me up.
Sorry.
Because you would yeet her right?
Yeah.
Yeet.
That's funny.
So My Chemical Romance are going to Download Festival.
Oh yeah, so they're coming
in
to Australia.
June.
This was the exciting
really?
news this morning,
Okay.
and you bet I'm gonna be there.
But you know who else is
But it's
performing
a
there?
festival. It's the worst
I
place
know,
to see
but it's the
acts.
only Oz shows they're doing, and I like one more band on the lineup, so
They
I'm gonna
must
pay
get paid heaps.
$150 for a ticket and sit
Wow.
around all day and not watch any of the metal bands.
Get sunburnt.
Mhm.
Who else
Jimmy
is
Eat World.
performing?
Jimmy Eat World are there, and
Who-
also
so
Hands
what,
Like
what
Houses.
do they do? I hear
The
that
middle.
name all the time.
So like
just
it just
takes
takes some time.
time.
Everything will be
Oh
alright.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good song.
Everything will be.
They have, like, three
alright,
good ones.
alright.
Yeah.
Who else is going? I'll have a look. No one that I recognise.
Anyway, so My Chem are coming to Australia, and
My Chem.
yes, and I was very excited.
You
this
talk
morning.
about My Chemical Romance so much
Yes.
that you've shortened their name.
of
My
course,
Chem.
My Chem. Yeah,
We got Chem.
Fob, Panic, My Chem, Blink.
Green Day?
Green.
I would say I wouldn't call Green. I would just say Green Day because I don't talk about
Green
them
Day
that
was
much.
my shit, bro. I love
Yeah.
So
Green
you were that
Day.
side. You were
Yeah.
like the Green Day Sum 41 side.
Yeah. Some 41. Love
genre.
that.
See, I was like the more pop side. I was like the girl side.
And then I found Aussie rap and I was like, fuck this makeup off. Get
Yeah.
some permanent face tats and a knife in you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've left the Green Day phase yet.
You
I'm
were
still on
talking
them.
about
You know what? I
him
listened to
this
their
morning.
new shit. They're still good.
Still good,
They
yeah.
are still
Yeah.
like very
I listened
good.
to Blink's new album. It's okay, but it's not the same because they don't have all the members. So.
Green Day, they're
Well,
doing
that's
it-
Green Day has all the members still,
They're
right?
doing
Yes.
the World
Yeah.
Mega Tour, Hella Mega Tour, whatever it is, with Fall Out Boy and Weezer
Yeah.
in 2020.
That's so boss.
Are they coming here?
They haven't announced an
I will
Australian
probably
tour.
go to that.
I'd go to
I've
that.
seen Fall Out Boy before.
How
it was
boss
awesome.
is that of Green Day? Of like Fall Out Boy come up and they take over, they get bigger than Green Day. Green Day just sit back, go, give it 10 years, you'll
Yep.
be our opening act, and they fucking are.
Of course.
So good.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy suck now. Have you heard their new shit?
I never
Terrible.
liked their
It's
stuff.
fucking terrible.
I never
They're like a
liked it.
synth pop band.
Thanks for the memory. Shush. Hate that. I hate that song.
I don't like that one. I don't like their hits. I don't like a lot of bands' hits. I think My Chemical Romance's worst songs are Teenagers, which is the hit that
What's
everyone
that
likes. Teenagers Scared to Live and Shadow Me. I think that's
Oh.
their worst song. But I'm such a dork. I like all my favorite songs of theirs. No people who even will be listening will know. I like all their B-sides.
Yeah, like what?
Well, you want to know them.
Well, sound off in the comment section
Sound
if
off.
you know
I like
this one.
Gun. I like Ambulance. Boy Division. Good song.
I just name their songs after shit. Who's I go? Gun. Ambulance. Because they know they're not the hits, so they just call, shoot. What, you like that one? Oh, what's you guys want? Ah,
Fridge.
fuck. They just look around the studio, look out the window. Oh, ambulance. I see an ambulance. What about couch? Nah, we did couch. We did that early on because we were looking around the studio. All right. Roof.
I was not going to keep doing it because there were other ones.
What else do they have?
I know.
Carpet? They got carpet? What do we call our album? Oh, recording studio.
And you know how much of a loser I am? I'm getting to the point
Big
where...
one.
Yeah, a lot. I'm like, how about how you're into World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
I'm that into My Chemical Romance. I've been getting recommended so many articles during the week. I watched a 15-minute video titled 10 My Chemical Romance fan theories that turned out to be true.
That's the shit that I watch is fan theories. Who's aiding Sylvanas? Why did she turn on the Horde?
Apparently, and it's like no one else cares probably, but apparently My Chemical Romance predicted their own comeback in 2013. So in a film clip, they have all this stuff that said California 2019 show in the background of all their things. And then they're doing their comeback show in California in 2019. And apparently they planned this comeback.
Was that
the
film?
last song they ever released was called Fake Your Death. And there's all these stuff where people think there's this theory where they wanted to be like the Smashing Pumpkins, because the Smashing Pumpkins were a band for ages, had 6 years off, and then came back. So
I think that's probably a good thing for a band like that to have a break.
Have a plan, yeah.
Especially if you're like fucking 3 to 5 people. You probably might need a break from each other for a little bit.
You know, they only made one album after that big album, The Black Parade. They actually only released...
That's my favorite album. Danger Days.
Danger Days. Oh, and see, I like the... again, I'm a loser. There's one person listening to this that cares. Yeah. But my favorite album of theirs is they recorded their follow-up to The Black Parade. Because The Black Parade was one of the biggest albums. I would still say a lot of people who don't even like the genre would be one of their favorite albums of all time. It's such a great album. And their follow-up, they wrote a whole album, and these are the songs I was talking about, all these B-sides that were released. They wrote a whole album, were about to release it, the follow-up to The Black Parade. Then they were like, fuck it, let's scrap everything and rewrite a new album. So they never released it until years later. So all my favorite songs are on this album that was supposed to be the follow-up of The Black Parade.
Did it live up? Or were they right to scrap?
Yeah, I thought it was a great album, and I don't know why they scrapped it, and I think they just wanted a different vibe.
Is that when they re-released The Black Parade in 2016?
No, it was called like Conventional Weapons or something like that. Anyway. This is... I don't know why you haven't turned my microphone off, because if you did this about World of Warcraft, I would have shut you up ages ago.
Fuck. All right. Well, guys, we can't end there because, man, that got boring. What else can we do? Oh, hey.
Oh, we needed to bring back this segment. I know it's a longer podcast.
Oh, that's right. Okay, this will be a longer podcast, but we had to tell you guys how to live your lives, all right?
Yeah.
People... we've had a lot of people, especially in the secret sound off section, in the Discord. The Patreon supporters have been asking us to bring back a old segment that we used to do on the radio that Luke and I both loved, but we
forgot about it.
We forgot about it, and I think we stopped doing it because we couldn't do it in a respectful way, and also we couldn't do it in the short format of like 3 to 4 minute talk breaks.
We couldn't do it without being a dick to David Kosh.
And that's why we're bringing back Koshy's columns. Oh, I really need to make some money. Who's going to help me?
Koshy's columns.
Making money with David Kosh. That's right. David Kosh's columns is back.
So if you don't know who David Koch is, he's the host of the Australian morning breakfast show Sunrise, also president of the Port Adelaide Football Club, and writes crap joke books where he steals jokes and he publishes as his own, I think.
Which is quite an interesting decision, because I would say even on his television show and in life, no one's ever gone, gee, gosh, he's funny.
Yes.
But he definitely thinks he is.
And one of his minor contributions to society is what this segment is about. We think it's underappreciated.
Yep.
Many people don't realize Koshi used to have a column that he wrote every single week for news.com.au where he'd write financial advice.
Yep.
And each one will be like a kind of clickbaity
Packed
thing.
full of advice. This podcast episode is going to be launched into space as a record of human achievement, because it is so packed full of advice that it has to be shared with the aliens. We've got what to do after high school when you make it through high school as an alien. And also what to do with Earth money.
Yep. And also what to do if you don't like My Chemical Romance A-sides. Get on the B stuff. So it's a very informative episode. Should be rated E for education, this one. This one today, Lewis. Koshi's column. So this is where we essentially just read Koshi's financial advice. There's no more to the segment than that.
No, but I think everyone will agree, and they will sound off in the sound off section. Best segment ever.
Yes, this one...
We're going to be so rich.
I thought it would relate to us today because we've just launched our Patreon for the show, the Luke and Lewis Patreon. If you want to support the show, get on there.
2 bonus episodes
Join the
every
secret
month.
sound off section.
Secret episodes.
By the way,
you guys get it.
We should not be even telling you this, but there's a secret podcast. But shh, honestly...
That's all we can say, because it's a secret podcast.
It's such a secret podcast.
Now,
but there is a secret podcast that exists, but shh.
Keep it... Zip it, okay? Now, what is Koshi...
So this is 10 commandments to help couples manage their money. Now, we're a couple.
We've just started making money with the Patreon. Okay,
so
cool.
we've just started making money.
Yeah.
Nothing can tear a relationship apart more than money issues, says David and Libby Kosh. So he's got his wife in to help with some advice.
Okay, that's good.
Here are the top 10
and
rules.
How much money does Libby Kosh make?
I've never heard of her, so I don't think she's on the Forbes list, that's for sure.
Yep, all right. Because Koshi is fucking loaded.
He is. The first tip is they have no money secrets. So
our whole Patreon's secret.
That's the problem.
We're fucking up.
We're fucking up.
The whole thing is a secret.
I mean, no, but not the money. We've kept the money public so people can see how much money we've made.
Okay.
So there's no secrets.
The secret sound of section is secret. Okay, well that's fine. That's good. We're good. Okay. Shh.
The second bit of advice is they talk a lot about money. Now, we talk a lot about
We do talk
money.
a lot about money, about how little of it we have, how much we need to escape here, how there's a big poo in the toilet and no one's going to clean it.
How we usually talk about how we don't have much of it.
Yep.
So we technically are talking about it. Not how that helps.
At least we're talking about it. Does Koshi say how we should talk about it?
He said it doesn't. He said we recommend you set aside at least 15 minutes a month just to talk about your money, not paying bills. He goes, just talk about the future managing of your finances.
How good's money?
So good.
Yeah. What do you think about the Australian dollar at the moment?
We can do this for 15 minutes.
True. Okay, we'll do this after.
Yep.
All right. What's the next?
They set specific goals. Now I can't say that
okay,
word.
So this isn't going well, is it?
Specific goals.
Specific goals.
Yeah. They divide up responsibilities. We do that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Which is we delegate it all to Keelan.
Yeah. Great.
So, we do.
Yeah.
They protect what they have. Now we have fuck all.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to protect.
Okay. Well, hey, imagine that this couch is our $400 we're making a month. Just try and touch it.
Back off. Oh, okay.
Don't touch it.
Hang on. What about if I be sneaky? Oh, look over there.
Oh,
see, you've got to protect it better. This is why I don't trust you with our money.
Right. Well, we need to have that 15-minute conversation at the end of the month, and we'll solve that.
Lewis, one of the final tips. Have we planned for the unthinkable? That's what Koshi reckons.
Well, I couldn't think of what that would be. So how do we plan for that?
That doesn't really make sense.
Can you think of the unthinkable, Keelan?
Well, wouldn't the unthinkable be like if you got broken into and someone stole the computer?
Or half the curtains.
No, you just thought of that.
Okay.
You both just thought of those things. So that could be it. How does Koshi plan for something you can't think about?
Next bit of advice is they accept that they're different from each other and never judge. So the couple. And
we accept that we're different from each other.
we always judge.
Lots of judging. That's
Yeah.
we're halfway there.
I turn your microphone off on Tuesday's
Yeah.
episode because you talked about one of your passions.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can work on that one. We're halfway there. We accept that we're different. No respect, though.
They live within their means. Now, what this means, I think, is don't buy so many Gucci belts because we don't have that much money. So living within your means. So, like, live an affordable lifestyle.
I don't understand that.
You're struggling to process this
What
one.
is that?
It means you don't buy luxury items from designer clothing stores. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I
Can you
think
say that again, but
look-
slower?
it's where
Yeah.
you don't buy designer clothes from luxury clothing stores.
Right.
For example,
if-
Gucci, you own
Yeah.
20 pairs of shoes that you may not need. And yet you often complain that you don't have enough money.
Now, that's an interesting point that you brought up, Luke.
Mm.
What I would like to say is, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that one. Just go to that. We'll come back to it.
They set strong ground rules. Now I would like to set a strong ground rule saying no more luxury items.
Fuck, that's a strong rule.
It says set strong ground rules.
But one of the goals on our Patreon,
Mate, do
if
you
we
want to be
do-
rich like David Koch or not?
Does
He
he,
doesn't
have
own-
any Gucci belts?
That's why he's rich.
And what a loser he is! Imagine how cool he would be if he rocked up to the Today Show and he was like, he looked like Lil Pump, Lil Kosh, and he had like, and he had like a belt and it said 2 G's on it, and he rocked up. He's wearing 5 rings on each hand. He goes, "Yo, what up, Lil Kosh?" And he just mumble rapped his way through the 4
He's like,
hours
"Oh,
of Today Show.
This one's Lil Kosh featuring the Cash Cow. Haha, let's get it.
And that's why we need Gucci belts, so we can be like Lil Koch. He would be
Finally.
so much cooler. Bill Gates is a nerd.
The final bit of advice from Lil Kosh is
Yeah.
they have fun. Couples that
That
have
was
fun
fun.
together
Yeah.
make stacks together.
Okay, that's
So
good.
we have a lot of fun on this show.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hold hands. That's fun.
Yep.
So let's keep doing that.
All right. Cool. That's good.
Sometimes we touch dicks. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't
Oh,
matter
we've
what
never
you
done
define
that.
as fun.
We've never done that
Huh?
because you couldn't get past my belt. So does this mean that we have to? Because one of the goals for the Patreon, $10,000 a month, which we're so close to at $400 a month currently as of recording this.
Can I make a special announcement?
What?
We just hit the first goal of $500.
Oh, did we?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 400 when we started this.
Guys, I'm gonna.
Oh, you
World
better
Gym.
get the World Gym. That's amazing. We did it. Thank you so much, guys. On the way to the see you later, Luke.
I'm working out.
Oh, here, do tricep dips and I'll end the episode. Do it here. There we go. We just jumped over that. Great. Okay. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you for supporting us.
Gratitude zone.
Oh, and here's the gratitude zone as well. These are all of the sergeants that signed up to the Patreon. Check out their names. Thank you so much. Pick a name out of here and thank them in the sound off section. Check out the Patreon. The bonus episode is up right now, and Luke is well on his way to becoming slightly more fit. Thank you for listening, guys. LukeandLewis5.com to get your tickets to the tour. We will see you soon. How you feeling? You shouldn't be that tired. I could do that and I would be fine.
I'm still a little hungover. Almost.
All right. See you later.